It's Accession Day! Today, Queen Elizabeth marks an amazing 70 years on the throne. Grab a glass of bubbly, which happens to be the Queen's favorite nightcap, and settle in for 10 questions, all devoted to my favorite reigning monarch. Question number 1. What was momentous about Elizabeth's birth? So honestly, not a whole lot. Despite being born third in the line of succession, no one imagined that she would one day be queen, as her uncle Edward VIII was expected to marry and sire heirs. She was, however, a joy to her family and to the world. Elizabeth was born on April 21st, 1926 at 2:40 in the morning via C-section at her maternal grandparents' home in Mayfair, London. Question number 2. What records has she broken? Queen Elizabeth II holds the Guinness World Record for the oldest British queen, surpassing Queen Victoria, who died at age 81. She is also the oldest currently reigning monarch, the world's longest reigning queen, longest reigning living monarch. She is featured on more currencies than any other person, and she is the world's wealthiest queen. Question number 3. Whose romance led to Elizabeth becoming heir presumptive? Edward VIII and Wallis Simpson's romance and intent to marry forced Edward to abdicate the throne in favor of his younger brother, King George VI, Elizabeth's father, making the little princess the heir presumptive. Question number 4. Why was she heir presumptive and not heir apparent? So, at the time, females could only inherit the throne in the absence of legitimate living brothers. While Elizabeth had no brothers, her position was still considered presumptive rather than apparent, as her parents could potentially produce a son. In keeping with the times, Elizabeth has changed the rules a bit. On January 9th, 2013, the Queen issued letters patent that provided that female children should not be passed over for their younger brothers. This took place shortly before the birth of Prince George, securing the place in line if the child had been a girl. Princess Charlotte, therefore, was not leapfrogged by her younger brother, Prince Louis, upon his birth. Question number 5. Why does the Queen dislike Accession Day? So, Queen Elizabeth finds Accession Day sad, as it's the day that her father died. She does not find it a day to celebrate, but rather a day to reflect and remember her dad. Question number 6. How did she meet Prince Philip? Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip first met in 1934 at the wedding of the Duke of Kent and Princess Marina. But Elizabeth has stated her first memory of meeting him was at the age of 13 at the Royal Naval College, and it was love at first sight, at least for her. Question number 7. How long did Elizabeth have to wait to marry? So Elizabeth's parents didn't really approve of Philip as a partner for their daughter, but in 1946, they permitted the engagement on the condition that they had to wait to announce it until she turned 21. The princess turned 21 on April 21st, 1947. Their engagement was announced on July 9th that year, and they were wed just 4 months later on the 20th of November. She had been in love with him for a long time, so it's not a surprise that the engagement was short. Question number 8. How did English women show their support for the engaged princess? Fabric and clothing was rationed in post-war Britain, and the rules also applied to the heir to the throne. Elizabeth saved her ration coupons to pay for her wedding dress, but English women wanted to help, so they sent the princess their ration coupons as well. It would have been illegal for her to use them, so they were returned, but it's a sweet gesture. Question number 9. Where did Elizabeth and her husband live for the first few years? Prince Philip was in the Navy when they married, and Elizabeth joined her husband in Malta, where he was stationed from 1949 to 1951. It is said to have been the most simple and happiest time of her adult life. Question number 10. What caused Elizabeth to delay embarking from her aircraft when arriving in England after her father's death? She didn't have a black dress. Elizabeth and Philip were in Kenya on a royal tour when George VI died at Sandringham, requiring Elizabeth to fly back to England post-haste. When they arrived on the tarmac, a lady-in-waiting was sent to retrieve a black dress so that Elizabeth could change on the plane and disembark wearing appropriate mourning attire. Thanks for joining me for this special 2-part episode celebrating Queen Elizabeth II and her Platinum Jubilee. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please take a moment to rate and review it or leave a comment. To help support Binging on Britain, click the Be My Patron badge on Podbean or follow the Patreon link in the comments. I hope you have a very British day. Cheerio!